What's good, harlots, heathens, and hags? Tiny here, and I bring you degenerates, heinous reactions. I posted a poll on my Instagram a while back, and you guys voted for a top 10 recommendation list, so here it is. 10th on our list, we have The Lure of Ueki. The story kicks off with the battle to find the next king of the celestial world. There's 100 king candidates in the running, and each has to find a junior high school student to act as their power user. I won't go into details on why they need a literal child to do their bidding or what the hell a power user is. You just need to watch the show and find out. The winner will then receive a blank talent that will grant their any wish. Our main character is Kyosuke Ueki, and his power is as useless as Minetta's existence, but he makes it work. With the punch first, ask questions later type attitude, Ueki joins in the fight of the Celestials. If you like shows like Zatch Bell with the battle to become king trope, then you'll def enjoy this show. Next on our list, we have World Trigger. So one day a gate opens up in Mikado City and these creatures called neighbors start spawning in the city. Humanity struggles to fight back. They're getting their ass whooped. They're trying to fight back with household appliances. Like, come on, you're fighting a 6-foot monster with a rake? Please make it make sense. Anyways, one day this organization called the National Defense Agency, or Border for short, appears. They start using their fancy little gadgets called triggers, which allows the user to channel internal energy called Tryon. It's a similar concept to chakra, but not really. They're able to infuse their Tryon with weapons such as dual blades, guns, swords, etc. You'll know more if you decide to watch the show. Anyways, 45 years later, a white-haired boy named Yuma Kuga appears. If you know anything about white-haired characters, then I don't need to say much more. Eventually, he teams up with our other two MCs, Osamu and Chika. Their mission is basically to go to the world of the neighbors. I really enjoyed this show. It's currently 3 seasons. The character development is great. You get to see the different rank tiers inside Border, and ladies, if you love Gojo, then you're going to love Jin Yuichi, okay? And number 8, we have Ushio and Tora. Ushio and Tora centers around the trials and tribulations of Ushio Atsuki. He just so happens to be stalked and helped by a gigantic, supernatural, semi-invisible, Kurama-like monster named Tora. Try saying that 5 times. Ushio's family maintains a temple in Japan where 500 years ago, his samurai ancestor battled Tora and sealed him with a cursed weapon called the Beast Spear. Being the MC, Ushio stumbled upon the sealed Tora, and after several moments of banter, he finally helps setting Tora free. Let's keep in mind that Tora wants to eat Ushio. Okay. The story focuses on their relationship, countless battles against mythological foes, and his daily virgin life. So sad. The show is more on the older side considering it came out in the 1990s, but if you like shows like Yu Yu Hakusho, then you're definitely going to enjoy this one. Number 7 on my list, I have a whimsical comedy called Nanbaka. This show centers in a place similar to Rikers Island. Nanba is the world's most formidable prison, way worse than Impel Down. It centers around 4 inmates with special skills: Jugo, the master of lockpicking, Uno, the gambler, Nico, the lab rat, and Rock, the muscle-head foodie. And how can I forget our favorite baldy Hajime? They've escaped out of every jail they were sent to previously and now ended up in hell. Nanba follows the comedic daily life of our 4 insufferable inmates and their overworked guard. Bro, they get 3 full meals a day, minor amenities, and sports events. I'm not gonna lie, it sounds lit if it wasn't a correctional facility. If you want to watch the lives of these 4 hyperactive inmates and why Jugo looks like he has some type of bondage printers, then check out the 2 seasons that are out as well as the webtoon. At number 6, we have a personal favorite of mine, Ari Fruta and the Commonplace to World's Strongest. I couldn't make a recommendation list without adding in the typical, betrayal trope. Typical douchebags, NPCs, bullies our Hajime Nagumo, the main character, literally for being friends with their beloved class idol. Anyway, One day, the class gets transported to some other world, and what do you know? our main character gets the most weakest, basic, trashiest ability that you can think of. Like, he's able to transmute solid materials. Yeah, that's it. They go on a raid, and that's when it happens. When I tell you his glow up, he becomes a white-haired character. And if you know anything about white-haired characters, just watch the show. As he proceeds on his journey, he comes across a vampire lolly named Yui, and the story goes on from there. We do get a bimbo bunny and a masochistic dragon that joins the team. And you're probably wondering why I'm calling her a masochist. Well, here's a clip.
Take it in the ass and die!
What are you doing? Oh, my rear.
At number 5, we have Assassination Classroom. What would you do if one day you go to school and they tell you you have to kill your teacher in order to graduate? Yeah, that's literally the premise of this show. The story literally starts off with Earth being threatened by an octopus. A powerful creature with tentacles pulls up, destroys 70% of the moon, and then tells them that within the next year he's gonna destroy the Earth. Class 3E, the worst class in Kuniogaoka Junior High School, is saddled with said mission. Octoman, who goes by Koro Sensei, becomes their homeroom teacher. He teaches them the basic school studies as well as the arts of assassination. This series is narrated by Nagisa Shiota, and yes, before you ask, he is a boy. The show is fun, has a lot of great characters as well as a few plot twists, and if I'm being honest, it brought me to tears. It did. That yellow octopus really... There's only a handful of characters that I can say that I cried over, with some examples being the Going Merry and Ace from One Piece and Asuma Sensei from Naruto. But Koro Sensei, like the ending of this series, it broke my heart. And since we're talking about amazing characters, can we please shine some light on Karma Akabane? Here's a clip.
What in the hell are those supposed to be?
Mustard and wasabi. You never know when you're gonna need them to shove up a nose.
What?
Part of keeping my guard up meant I had to play nice. But hey, now that we've got you all bound up, I can let loose. You'll want to hold still or that special clip's gonna rip your nostrils off. Now let's see, you've got your jalapenos, your hatch chilies, your ghost peppers. Those are a kick in the balls, right? And a pinch of garlic for heart health. Well, hun, what you think? Show us that samurai willpower?
So, I noticed Karma's still a sadist.
Magica Madoka. I've always been a fan of the magical girl trope. My first introduction to the genre was through Sailor Moon. I'm showing my age here. It's my all-time favorite show. Anyway, I can't lie, I watched this show probably at like the ending of last year, the beginning of this year, and it's nothing like the other magical girl animes in the genre. Okay? The main character's name is Madoka Kaname. She's a regular middle school girl. Keep in mind, she's like in the 7th grade. She lives an ordinary life until she meets some puppet sentient cat thing named Kyurebe and some girl with glasses named Homura Kemi. Kyurebe offers her a proposition that he will grant any wish in exchange if she becomes a magical girl. Like, this, I'm not gonna lie, sound good. Like, I get any wish granted, I become a magical girl, and you're giving me powers? Like, sign me up. However, Glacious chick Homura tells them that Kyurebe is evil and he's manipulating them. A story that some would think is a wholesome, happy-go-lucky, colorful show turns into despair and devastation. Everything that glitter isn't gold, and Madoka will soon find out the hard way. Bungo Stray Dogs! Many of you should have heard about this gem. The Dazai fandom literally rivals Gojo's. Like, I'm not bullshitting you on this one. Asushi Nakajima has been plagued by a mystical tiger. And yet our MC is so clueless that he's unaware of it. I mean, you're gonna have to watch and to find out why that is. But anyway, After a series of odd events, the 18-year-old found himself homeless with nowhere to go. Barely able to feed himself, he comes across a man drowning. Yep, you got it, it's Osamu Dazai, a whimsical suicide enthusiast and supernatural detective. He then later joins the Armed Detective Agency, a group that's focused on solving crimes. This show currently has 5 seasons, and I want to say I think it's 1 or 2 movies. It's fun. It has a lot of great characters like Chuya, the spicy redhead chihuahua, and another fan favorite, Rampo. Noragami. The story revolves around a minor god named Yato. Barely acknowledged, he struggles to gain followers. His only desire is to become a well-known god. In order to achieve this goal, he'll need one of 2 things: worshippers, and most importantly, a shrine. A high school girl named Hiyori saves Yato from getting isekai'd one day. But don't worry, because Truck-kun always stands on business and he ends up hitting her instead. Her soul, unfortunately, isn't sent to Hueco Mundo, but slightly detached itself from her, giving her an out-of-body experience. So think of Ichigo when he's going into his soul reaper form, how his physical body goes to sleep. So same concept. She's able to jump in and out of her body, I guess. With Yato's help, she becomes involved in the world of the gods, spirits, and the afterlife. This show is an absolute gem. I highly recommend watching it and or reading the manga. And as of 2024, there is a season 3 in production, so I definitely recommend you catching up as of right now. And at number 1, we have another fucking favorite of mine, Summertime Rendering. Since the death of his parents, Shinpei Aijiro had lived with the Kifune family and their 2 daughters, Mio and Ushio. He eventually left, embarking on the road to education in Tokyo. He returned later on after hearing about the death of his childhood friend. Ushio tragically drowned rescuing a small child. To make matters worse, during the funeral service, his best friend thought it was a good idea to put him on about the bruises that they found around her neck, and now everybody is questioning how the fuck did she really die. Anyway, after a series of unexplainable occurrences, it led Mio to recall this old folk's tale story about shadows. To give you some context, if you see a shadow or your doppelganger, it foretells the person's impending demise. So basically, if you see a clone carbon copy of yourself, you're time's up. Can he go back in time before falling into the ultimate void? Yo, I remember I stumbled upon this show, I think it was on Hulu, and I binged all the episodes. And then right after, I had to put everybody on. If you enjoyed ReZero and shows that touches on the elements of time travel, then I definitely suggest checking this one out. It does get a little confusing when it comes to going back to what timeline and the connections between that, similar to how AOT was a head bus. Same concept. Check it out. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Special shout out goes to my boy-headed heathens, Darol, Blue, Hakeem, Cash, Dre, Malik, and Norval. I just wanted to take the time out to show appreciation to you guys for the endless amount of feedback, love, and the motivation that y'all gave me to continue and actually start my own channel. So, my boy-headed heathens, I love y'all. So with that being said, I'll see you hags in hell. Bye!